We are back with more of the breaking news this hour. Newly released emails from the Epstein estate show the convicted sex offender making multiple references to President Trump. In one, it's a 2011 email to accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell. Epstein writes that Trump, quote, spent hours at his house with a sex trafficking victim. Now, Epstein calls Trump in this email a, quote, dog that hasn't barked. These emails were released by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee, and the top Democrat on that committee, Robert Garcia, is joining us now.
The important thing here is that we know, and we've been demanding, that Donald Trump and the DOJ release the full Epstein files. In what's been released today, which obviously is some quite serious, I think, connections between what Donald Trump may have known. There's communication between Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, obviously making some claims about Donald Trump spending significant time, hours, with possibly one of the victims. There's also disturbing emails there about Trump and Jeffrey Epstein.
Let's not forget, Donald Trump was the only presidential candidate ever to campaign on releasing those files, and now he won't.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
Yes, I would. I think that less so because, you know, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there, because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world.
What an odd thing to say.
A tape in the NBC archives of a Mar-a-Lago party shows Trump giving Epstein his personal attention.
Donald! Donald! Donald!
The footage, shot in November of 1992, before Trump opened the resort as a club, shows the future president surrounded by cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins, capturing Trump's fun-loving bachelor lifestyle for an appearance on Faith Daniels' NBC talk show.
We're going to get great ratings in your show.
Trump is surrounded by women as music blares in the background. After a while, Trump goes to greet 3 new guests, among them the financier Jeffrey Epstein.
Come on in. Go inside.
More than a decade before his guilty plea on state prostitution charges. Later in the footage, Trump is seen talking to Epstein and another man as women are dancing in front of them. Trump alternates between dancing and pointing out women to Epstein and the other man and telling Epstein about the cameras. Though exactly what they say is difficult to understand as they discuss the women and their appearances, Trump gestures to one and appears to say to Epstein, "Look at her back there. She's hot." And then Trump says something else into Epstein's ear that makes him double over with laughter. But as the president says now, he never liked Epstein.
I was not a fan of his. That I can tell you. I was not a fan of his.
Why not just go ahead, release the full files on Epstein, get this all over with?
This administration has done more with respect to transparency when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein than any administration ever. In fact, this administration, the Department of Justice, has turned over tens of thousands of documents to the American people. We are cooperating and showing support for the House Oversight Committee. That's part of the reason you are seeing these documents that were released today, because of the House Oversight Committee's and Republicans' efforts to get these out to the public. This administration also moved, the Department of Justice also moved to unseal grand jury testimony, which we know, unfortunately, a judge declined those requests. So this administration has done more than any, and it just shows how this is truly a manufactured hoax by the Democrat Party. For now, they're talking about it all of a sudden because President Trump is in the Oval Office. But when Joe Biden was sitting in there, the Democrats never brought this up. This wasn't an issue that they cared about because they actually don't care about the victims in these cases. They care about trying to score political points against President Trump, as we have, of course, seen with this government shutdown. And this entire thing, again, it's not a coincidence to the American people at home. There are no coincidences in Washington, D.C. And it is not a coincidence that the Democrats leaked these emails to the fake news this morning ahead of Republicans reopening the government. This is another distraction campaign by the Democrat and the liberal media, and it's why I'm being asked questions about Epstein instead of the government reopening because of Republicans and President Trump.
Welcome back to IND News. Republicans don't care, Democrats are incompetent, and ain't no Superman coming to save you. Only the strong survive the day.
What else is there to say? It's not really much more you can say, man. The evidence is starting to speak for itself. The walls are closing in on that man Trump, and it's not really looking too good for him or any of his MAGA cultists. You feel me? Hey, we literally have evidence, emails of Epstein discussing Trump, being in the room, being spending time with victims, people whose names are redacted in the reports, spending hours with the young girl alone. You see Epstein, like Epstein's concerned, right? You got all this, you feel me? And not to mention Donald Trump himself, the whole MAGA crowd was saying we need to release the Epstein files when he was campaigning. They kept saying, I'm sure Bill Clinton is in the Epstein files. We're going to release the Epstein files. That is until they got their hands on it. And once they got their hands on the file, hey, it was a complete different story. As you can see till this day, his press, the press lady, we've been more transparent than anybody else. Trump, hey, why we still talking about Epstein? Hey, this one here is sticking, fam. I don't know how you gonna get rid of it, and I'm not even sure by the time they release the files that it's gonna be how they say the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Like, I'm not sure certain files aren't gonna accidentally just evaporate. To be honest with you, they have enough time. They have exclusive possession of these files. So, hey, I'm not going to spend too much time because the video pretty much explained it all, man. That man, the emails are coming out and they are looking very bad. Let me ask, if this was you or I, how many of you think that if this was you and this type of evidence came out, that we'd still be debating while you were free outside of the confinement of a cell? Yeah, that's wishful thinking, right? Anyway, I'm finna get off here. Once again, I want to thank all my new subscribers. I want to thank everyone that's been supporting my little tiny channel. Hey, if you want to help out, you can feel free to press the like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. And we're going to be back with the next story real soon. All right.